Okay, so this video is going to explain to you how I have my online classroom set up so that you have an idea for what you want to do. You by no means have to do what I do, but I'm just going to show you what has worked for me last year. So if you go to my pages, you're going to see I have a ton of pages set up, but you don't see that from here because I have it closed off for the summer so that those pre-AP kids of mine don't try to start their homework before school starts. But I have contact information here, so they know when my conference is, parents can go and they can contact me easily. I have about my classroom, what you're going to learn, and these are just things I wrote and put together. And then you have my steps of success, SOS steps of success. It's my tutoring policy, so parents know when I'm going to tutor, and the blog. And you'll see people do ask me questions, and they help each other out too. If you go in there, you'll see students answering questions. So it really helps because they talk to each other and learn from each other also. But the most important page I have in here is my homework page. And that's where all the students go to find their resources. So you saw me pick that setup, so now you can see what it kind of looks like. And I post electronic copies or the assignment through it, and I put a picture just to make it cuter. And I give a little explanation of what they're going to be doing with the date. So what's worked for me is I always make it Monday's assignment, but I post it on Sunday, so some students start it on Sunday. And then it's due on Wednesday, and that gives them time to do it. And again, this is compatible with smartphones, so everybody has a phone. Not everybody is going to have a computer, but parents or students, they all have phones, so it really has worked. But what you're going to do is all of these assignments are actually pages. So let's go to my website. Actually, I gotta make this visible. So I made this visible to you, and I'm gonna hit publish. Before you couldn't access it. And we'll open my web page. And if you go to more, homework, then you're gonna see all the assignments my students have, and it's each week of school. So the first week of school, it's just the parent agreement, and I do paperless. So this is the QR handout they get on the first day, and they just scan that in, or they can copy and paste this website, and it goes to my parent contact data, so that I have a spreadsheet and I don't have to sort or file it, but I'll show you how to do that later. If you clicked on this one, you'd see we start our units in 6th grade with poetry. So it goes to a Google form. And they watch a YouTube video on hyperboles. Then they answer a question. Now this question might just be whether or not they watched the video or whether or not they understand it. For the first week, it was more just getting them used to it. But they loved it. And then they just hit submit. And I have it set up to where if they don't answer all the questions, they can't hit submit. So they have to make sure that they did it. And they can email me and make sure I got it, and I don't mind answering. It's just an easier way. Here, though, let's see. This is a handout. And this week, they did an assignment on conflict and point of view. So as you can see, this is a page on my website that I just added and I didn't make visible, and I connected it through the homework page, through the button that we just clicked. So they're going to build their Irwin at home. And what worked for me for 6th grade was showing them how I did it step by step. And so I cut it out, took a picture of it. And of course, we model it for our students, so it's not any different than doing it in class. I had to make it too. So they can always look in my Irwin and make sure it's the same. The notes are on the side, but they can also see how I laid out the notes to make it fit, so they can do it too. And then at the very bottom, they checked their understanding. So they watched this video, and then they watched this one. Here is another one on point of view. And then I gave them the answer so that they understood. And this is actually from our book. That's one of their videos. So some of the lessons, though, they would have quizzes at the end of them. So they would do an online quiz. So they would take the elements of a story, note on plot, watch the video, and then they would click for the assignment. And then they would read the story and answer the 8 questions. But each of these 8 questions are about different parts of plot. So setting, the plot, the character. So when I get my data from it through Google Forms, then I can reteach the information immediately or make sure that my lesson covers that in class more in detail. So I spend my class time more wisely because I'll know that by Wednesday. So Thursday and Friday, I'm able to do that. So I don't lose any time on my pacing and everything's immediate.